The California man behind an anti-Muslim film that roiled the Middle East was sentenced Wednesday to a year in prison for violating his probation stemming from a 2010 bank fraud conviction by lying about his identity. U.S. District Court Judge Christina Snyder immediately sentenced Mark Vasily Youssef after he admitted to 4 of the 8 alleged violations, including obtaining a fraudulent California driver's license. Prosecutors agreed to drop the other 4 allegations under an agreement with Youssef's attorneys, which also included more probation. None of the violations had to do with the content of Innocence of Muslims, a film that depicts Muhammad as a religious fraud, pedophile and womanizer. However, Assistant U.S. Attorney Robert Dugdale argued Youssef's lies about his identity have caused harm to others, including the film's cast and crew. The movie sparked violence in the Middle East, killing dozens. They had no idea he was a recently released felon, Dugdale said Wednesday. Had they known that, they might have had second thoughts about being part of the film. Youssef's attorney Stephen Seiden said his client admits to being the film's scriptwriter but had no other involvement except what he described as being a cultural advisor. Youssef, 55, was arrested in late September, just weeks after he went into hiding when the deadly violence erupted in the Middle East. Enraged Muslims had demanded severe punishment for Youssef, with a Pakistani cabinet minister even offering $100,000 to anyone who kills him. Federal authorities initially sought the 2-year sentence for Youssef but settled on a 1-year term after negotiating the deal with Youssef's attorneys. Prosecutors said they wouldn't pursue new charges against Youssef, namely making false statements, and would drop the remaining 4 probation violation allegations leveled against him. But Youssef was placed on 4 years probation and must be truthful about his identity and his future finances. Seiden asked that his client be placed under home confinement, but Snyder denied that request. Youssef will spend his time behind bars at a Southern California prison. Youssef served most of his 21-month prison sentence for using more than a dozen aliases and opening about 60 bank accounts to conduct a check fraud scheme, prosecutors said. After he was released from prison, Youssef was barred from using computers or the internet for 5 years without approval from his probation officer. Federal authorities have said they believe Youssef is responsible for the film, but they haven't said whether he was the person who posted it online. He also wasn't supposed to use any name other than his true legal name without the prior written approval of his probation officer. At least 3 names have been associated with Youssef since the film trailers surfaced: Sam Basal, Nikula Vasily Nikula and Youssef. Basal was the name attached to the YouTube account that posted the video. This is a defendant who is engaged in a long pattern of deception, Dugdale said. His dishonesty goes back years. Court documents show Youssef legally changed his name from Nikula in 2002, though when he was tried, he identified himself as Nikula. He wanted the name change because he believed Nikula sounded like a girl's name, according to court documents. After the hearing, Seiden told reporters he had a message to relay from his client. "The one thing he wanted me to tell all of you is President Obama may have gotten Osama bin Laden, but he didn't kill the ideology," Seiden said. Asked what that meant, Seiden said, "I didn't ask him, and I don't know." Read more. http://www.foxnews.com/entertainment/2012/11/07/ California man behind anti-Muslim film sentenced to prison #9 ZZ to board the FC-8.